this a test or is it live?
And we are live. That's a well put right there. This is Growlersations Season 2, Episode 2 of Season 2. I think we're getting near 30 of these total. This is my Uncle Angus Wynne right here, pouring up the first beer. I got Mike Snider here.
Angle in the house.
AllGood Cafe.
This
of
guy
course,
here.
that's Jeff Fryman, and I'm Sam Wynne. This is Growlersations. Thank you, Central Track, for bringing
Wynne.
us back together.
I know when.
This is amazing. I don't have to do it.
I'll take one. Look at this. This is the first time anybody's poured us beer. We've done 30 seasons. And nobody's ever before you get born. That's true. You were a lot of things before I was born. So one of my favorite reasons that I kind of wanted to get both of you guys on here, but Ango, you in particular, was my very first Deep Ellum experience was you pulling some strings and getting me into trees when I was like 16 years old with Colin Beams to see toadies.
You were that old?
That was like
The toadies?
that was like 2000, I think. Maybe that was my first Deep Ellum experience.
How old were you for that?
16 or 17.
16, yeah.
Cheers.
Whoa.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That looks good. Nice head on it. Clear. You're good.
What is
This is a Brain Dead Main Street Kolsch.
this? All right.
Gross, huh?
Easy
You
drinking
pick a good one. I
bottles
like
all
it.
over. I
Kolsch,
thought
yeah.
y'all were going to bottle
Easy
beer.
We
drinking.
got two big growlers. We got 64 ounces each, and we're going to drink both of them. So
Oh,
it's
no,
going to be
this is
120.
Oh, my
fine.
word,
What
yes.
I
And
meant
some Bloody
was-
Marys. I was told some Bloody Marys as well.
Yes, they are. You know, man, we got a liquor license.
AllGood
now.
has
Isn't that
liquor
crazy?
license?
Yeah.
Woo!
Watch out, Deep Ellum. There's some trouble now.
So, Mike,
I'm telling you.
how long has AllGood been around?
How long has Deep Ellum been around?
No, AllGood. Where
Yes,
we are right
we
now.
opened 19 years ago, the year 2000. We're looking on 20.
What was this before?
Around the corner, huh?
What was this building before?
Well, they've had a lot of different
No, I
restaurants
mean right
here.
before.
I can't even remember, you know. I think it was
Don't
a Middle Eastern thing, you know, the Gun Lady, all kinds of things. The only thing ever lasted, other than us, was the first thing was here when it first opened was Nancy Beckham. Remember
Yeah,
Nancy Beckham?
sure do.
She had a deli here, and she lasted about 3 or 4 years. Then she moved to Florida and Jamaica. The
She was
B&B.
still running the place down on Greenwood. They were right across from the Arcadia.
No, she moved from Greenville to here.
Is that old menu that you have still? That of that deli? Not the one that you
no.
guys. Oh, okay.
We started very small.
Yeah.
Our first menu just had breakfast and a couple sandwiches and stuff like that. And
I just remember you showed me some old menu that was like from a place that was here before.
No, I think I probably showed you the Deep Ellum Cafe menu.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
That's what it
Ellum.
was. Yeah.
But he's my inspiration.
Yeah.
And he helped us when we opened with the menu, and
Yeah.
recipes, stuff like that. Brian Hennington.
Frank?
Brian Hennington?
O'Brien, yeah.
Yeah. That Deep Ellum Cafe was the original first legitimate business in Deep Ellum, other than clubs and artist loss and things like that, you know?
Yeah,
Printing company.
legitimate.
There was a printing company right over there.
Yeah.
Used to get stuff made.
Yeah. So it was a cutting edge menu there, and it was open for lunch, and then on the weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they're open till 4 in the morning.
Jeez.
So it was
Nice.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the very day.
Get that Saturday night crowd in.
So, Ango, we were talking right as we were kind of sitting down, geared up, or getting started about TBC coming in and hassling you about 1 ounce pours back in the day.
Among other things.
And then we were talking about how it was in the 70s when drinks by the glass started to even like be available. You were trying to think of that. Is that something you remember happening?
Well, before that, there was, it was a private club system. I had a club on
Yeah.
Greenville called Soul City.
Yeah.
And we had a license. There was a pool. You couldn't bring your own bottle in.
Yeah.
But you bought into a pool and you became a member of this club.
Okay.
And it was all so phony. You just can't believe it.
Hey, we can hear you perfect, but can you speak up just a little?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
There was a locker. You supposedly had your bottles in a locker, but that never opened.
Yeah.
Anyway, that happened before Liquor by the Drink came in. I can't remember the exact date that happened. Do you know?
I think it was like 72 or something like that was the last time someone was telling me about it. That, because prior to that, you couldn't sell a mixed drink. It was not a thing. Campese's on Mockingbird was telling me that they had the first license that was actually active. License number 1 for Liquor by the Drink.
Greenville Avenue?
On Mockingbird.
Yeah.
License by the 1 was given to like the lawmaker that passed it or whatever. He took the first permit. But Campese's claims to have the first, liquor by the glass
We had
permit
one
in
in
use.
we had one in '67.
Yeah.
I think it was a remnant of the old system, but it was the same kind of deal. We didn't have to at Soul City. We poured lots of mixed drinks at that place. One bartender for the whole 100 seats. The guy could make drinks as fast as you could tell him. And he had a whole row of waitresses coming through, and they would give him holler the orders at him, and he'd fill them up. He could
Just shouting them at him.
Dude, yeah. That's awesome.
He was amazing.
The call well, or whatever. Call bar.
I love it.
What?
Call bar.
Hey, that's mine.
Oh yeah.
See, we grew up in the system where you get to, get the little tab, it comes to you, then the well guy makes it. But back in the day, it was like, that's where I thought that call bar came from, because you just go up and say, hey, this is what we need. The waitress would come up, 2 margaritas. And that guy would just, 400 people in the place. That's fucking incredible.
I was at a comedy club one time, and the bartender was telling me that when they were filling the beers out to the seats, the bartenders would just ask for yellows. It doesn't matter if you ordered Miller Lite or Coors Light or Bud Light or whatever. Like, guys need 5 yellows for table 12. And then they'd go and just hand them back to everybody. Just call it good. That's funny.
When I first moved here in 1980, I worked for the Marriott at Coit and LBJ. And I was supposed to work in the catering, but they moved me into the lounge, because this lounge was hopping place. It was called the Currency Club.
All right.
Currency Club, right?
Yeah.
And our F&B director was connected with the Cowboys and all these people in North Dallas. And it was the most popular and high sales bar in Dallas at that time, in 79 and 80. Mm-hmm. And the reason was because it was the first place to get a drink in North Dallas. Richardson, Plano, and Addison were all dry. And this was a private club.
Yeah.
But anybody could watch in and sign, and you couldn't get a drink,
Become a
right?
member of the
So we would we'd open at 4 at night, and there'd be a line up the door to get in there. And we'd have a happy hour every day, but on Monday, it would be a cowboy show, and the Norm Hiskins was young in that day. And he would be in our DJ booth, and he would interview one cowboy player, one coach, and then one other person.
Yeah.
And it would be packed. I mean, and this bar, huh?
Did you hear the broadcast?
Yeah, on the radio. And in this bar, not just Monday, but every day, it was filled with hookers, dealers, vice cops. Our security guards were watching them go up and down the elevators. Their heads were spinning. Our hostess was a cowboy cheerleader, Danny Prestis. She's on the video. You see the thing about the cowboy cheerleaders, the video movie? She's in it, Danny Prestis, he's my hostess. I paid her, it was crazy. Those days, we had a free tacos stand on happy hours on a dance floor. And then we take it away, and then it was dancing all through the day.
Tacos, then straight
We
to
had
dancing.
a light setting. Had a light setting through every hour from 7, 8, 9, go down, darker later in the day. It was funny as shit. We had so much liquor in there. I had to go pick up the liquor from Siegel's on Walnut Hill in Stemmons.
What year was this?
Because they couldn't deliver it to us because it was a dry area.
Yeah.
They could deliver beer and wine for us, but I had to go pick up the liquor. I had to do it personally with a truck.
When What year?
in 80, 79 and 80. Sidney Siegel himself, he'd be at a cigar bar. Hey, Mike, again today, got a lot of shit today. Funny guy, little about that.
Actual Siegel of
Yeah,
Siegels?
Sidney.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
there were three brothers, but Sidney was what I would say was short, like 5 at the most. And little cigars about that big. Hey, Snider, what do you got today? Hey, Mike, I'm gonna say it. It was a funny place. But if you know that list, you go on Central Track. They said a list of the high sales.
Yeah.
The Bottle Blonde and the Anatole or AAC.
Yeah.
That Marriott was number 1 in 1980. Nobody else. And then what started to take over was the $1 Million Saloon opening.
Yeah.
Oh, they
And
held
then
direct.
and then the West End Marketplace. And then the Anatole opened. And then we blew us away. We're the little guy, you know, after that.
Yeah.
But that was it. The $1 Million
So
Saloon.
$1 Million Saloon made the big splash.
Oh, it blew us away. It's a whole new thing, you know. We had the Playboy.
So
Playboy.
it's those $8
Club.
beers, man.
The
They get you
Playboy
every
Club.
time.
The Playboy Club was there when I was there, and I got a key. I got to go one time, but that didn't last about 2 years because the $1 Million Saloon opened, and then the Playboy Club we passed there. Who cares about that? Go over there and fucking make it. You know? Don't care about Playboy anymore.
Right.
He needs bikinis.
That building is awesome still. I pass by and I'm just like, why does someone not, want that $1 Million Saloon?
It's just sitting there. Yes.
Yeah. And it's got the big lips inside. Like, I've seen the inside. It's awesome.
It's not what it used to be. You know.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, it was a lot of
there.
fun. It's ganky now, but in the old days, it was about party.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun.
So, Ango, you have been working on a new project recently.
Yeah.
50th anniversary
Woodstock.
of an old project.
New and old. Can't believe I'm still alive after all that. But yeah, we just decided
It's okay, important,
Hey,
important stuff. He's
Very
the talent.
important stuff. He's booking a show.
He's the talent. It's okay.
It's Woodstock. 50.
We turned 50
I'll be right back.
on Labor Day weekend. And we decided, and the city of Louisville decided.
International Pop Festival, Texas Internet. What's it called?
Texas International
Texas
Pop
International Pop Festival.
Festival. It's our 50th anniversary. And I was approached. I never thought this would happen after the first one, but apparently lying quietly about it is the city of Louisville, and they figure out on their own that it's the biggest thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
So they decide to get hold of me
Thank you,
and
sir.
see if we'll put on a new one, and they would pay for it. And that's how we got this thing started.
Right on. That's
So,
awesome.
I'm just hoping the crowd comes out like they did before
Yeah.
to check it out, y'all.
So
Take a
who's,
listen here.
who's playing?
Here
got
you go.
the,
You got the poster there, don't
I
you?
got it.
Here's one for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Matter of fact.
That thing first.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Nice.
Well, yeah, you can see that.
You know,
That's
I don't
awesome.
know if they can read that from there, though.
Yeah.
with that beautiful camera, they got it.
Okay. That's our lineup, and we're sticking with it.
Yeah. It's a good lineup.
So there you go.
Thanks.
We're just hoping we can get the word out. Hey, y'all are listening or watching, make sure and go out and tell all your friends to hit this thing, because a lot of people still don't know about it.
Yeah.
Well, and ZZ Top is ZZ Top's headlining.
That's
Let me turn that ringer on.
ZZ Stop.
Can I help you with
Chicago.
that?
Oh, no, I'm taking it.
So ZZ Top
Yeah, it's up here.
and you have a relationship that I know about, but our viewers don't. You want to tell us about how you got ZZ Top to headline your show?
We offered them a ridiculous amount of money.
That's how that works. I know that.
Or rather, they pulled it out of us. I
Well,
guess.
all right,
You know.
but come on.
No, I guess the ZZ and the story, it goes way back. I had in '68, my company Shoko was doing a Doors tour, which was all of 2 dates. The first one being here in Dallas, and the second one being in Houston. And I had to always save myself 2 seats in the audience so I could go out and get away from all the backstage hurrah and get in there. And I had invited this guy that worked for me who lived in Houston to come to the show, and this guy would go out and take 45s, singles as we called them in those days,
Yeah.
that we made here in town of mostly R&B acts, and promote them to radio stations. So, sure what.
Hey, sir.
Need that.
To promote these things, this is never going to come out right. So I took him down to the Houston show, and I didn't take him, I met him there. He's a guy named Billy Mack Ham, who was from Waxahachie initially, and he just wanted to see the big time. So I took him to the show.
Never met a Billy Mack I didn't like.
Yeah, and we had an opening act that was the Moving Sidewalks, which was Billy Gibbons' first band. And after their set, they did real well. I turned to Billy Mack and I said, "You want to go back and meet Jim Morrison?" And then he says, "Oh yeah, I got to do that." So we walked backstage, and the first person we ran into was the guy I just talked about.
Billy Gibbons.
Billy Gibbons.
I got too many Billies on my mind. It was Billy Gibbons, and I introduced the two of them, and they started talking, and I walked away to do something, and came back maybe 30 minutes later, and they're still, by this time, they're in this heavy animated conversation, and it turned out that Billy Mack Ham became Bill Ham, Bill Ham, who was their manager, and he talked his way into starting this band called ZZ Top, and that's how the whole group came together.
Wild.
It turned out.
That's awesome.
And we don't get anything except bad news from them anymore.
Yeah.
We thought we were down for the count this week when we got a news that Frank Beard, the drummer, had pneumonia, and they had to cancel 4 dates in the tour. So those were the first 4 days. Fortunately, ours is one of the last ones, so we don't have any problem here. The doc said we'd be okay after the 4th date was supposed to be played.
There you go.
What, for this?
Well, what's the date on the
ZZ?
show?
The date on the show for ZZ is the 31st of August.
Okay.
And then the next day we're open on the 1st of September. Also.
All right.
And then the next day is Labor Day, so you sleep it off.
There you go.
Right.
Even better.
That's right.
Who's selling your tickets? Who's selling your tickets?
Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster. All
Who?
right.
Ticketmaster.
And then it's
Ticketmaster?
called Texas International Pop Festival 50th Anniversary is how you would search this? Or what's the,
Yeah,
what's the
it's
title?
50th anniversary Texas Pop. It hits under several names, or 50th anniversary Lewisville, whatever it's got.
Right on.
They all know by now.
Well, we got that show coming up. Excited about that. What do you got going? You just poured us some Bloody Marys.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
added a
check
liquor
it out.
license here?
Yeah, we have a liquor license now.
Getting liquored
Am
out
I
of the
getting
door.
crazy or what? What am
Yeah.
I thinking?
Do they mix with beer?
You can get your
Yeah.
you can get your chicken fried steak, the finest chicken fried steak in all the land. with
Well, it
your
definitely
buddy.
goes with a breakfast for sure. People are begging for a Bloody Marys for day one.
Hey, you don't tell me what goes with my chicken
Customers.
fried steak.
Huh?
You don't tell me what goes with my chicken fried steak.
Well, you can have chicken fried steak and eggs, for breakfast. It's all good.
Sure.
But no, we've been here for all these years and had just beer and wine and been begging for Bloody Marys and
I'm not seeing any comments.
like I said,
I'm not seeing comments.
we're in the neighborhood. Why not make some money too while we're at it?
Hey, I got a question while we're on the doors. I heard you got a good door story.
About what?
I don't know. I asked Stefan, what are some good stories that Mike told you about, anything? And he said, the doors. Ask him about the doors.
The Doors?
Yeah.
Well, I saw them live,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you got
did.
one?
Yeah, I got one the night before the Houston concert. We had them here down at Memorial Auditorium. And in those days, they didn't have real tall stages. They didn't have mosh pits. They didn't have anything. People actually sat in their seats all night.
Yeah.
People hadn't started standing up and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's wild
Yeah.
to think about.
I know what you're talking about. I did that too.
Doing all that stuff.
well, they had this stage that was about 3 or 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And it was just a bunch of
this.
lumber and stuff that
Yeah.
was under it.
Yeah.
And they had draping over it and everything. And I don't know what he was thinking, but Jim Morrison decided at some point that he was going to, and they brought a camera crew. And I
Yeah.
was wondering why they had a camera crew. And he started acting up on stage. there were police that had to that were hired to stand in front of the stage and keep everybody away from it, ostensibly. And he didn't like the way that looked. And there was he jumped down off the stage and would go around and blow smoke in these poor guys' faces. You know, they were just, just tried to tantalize, just tried to get them riled up. And that didn't work, and people were just kind of giggling about it. And so he makes this big thing about revolution's here, y'all. Come on! And it was like he did, and the audience started to laugh. And he got so angry that he jumped down underneath the stage and pulled the fabric over him, and he sang 3 songs from under the stage.
Because no one would join his rebellion.
Oh God, he was such a jerk.
I want to revenge you.
Their manager, their road manager, called me up the day before the show, and he said, "Hey, the guys are here in town. We got a limo out here. You want to come join us and take a little tour?" And I said, "Sure," expecting all this wild and crazy stuff. Well, I get down there, and everybody's kind of somber in this limo, and he said, "Well, where do y'all want to go? What do you want to do?" And he said, "Well, we want to drive out. Our manager put us into some oil and some gas wells out in a place called Mansfield." And I said, we ain't going out there. You're going to look at something just standing still. I mean, there's nothing to it. And I can't remember what we did otherwise, but that was their frame of mind. There was a frame of mind to see their investments while they're in town.
That's weird. Well, I did see the Doors in Pittsburgh growing up, and I was a senior in high school, and 2 things I remember about it was there was the Saturday, May 2nd, and the opening act was Blues Image, you know.
Oh yeah.
Ride, Captain Ride, you know, it's 1-900, you know, like what the fuck? They go together, whatever, you know. But that was the opening act, and then the other thing about it was 2 days later was Kent State, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. Like, think about that, you know.
Yeah,
It
crazy.
didn't happen the other way around.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
But
Wow.
but the Doors, their engineer and producer Bruce Botnick, you know.
Bruce, yeah, his buddy.
Yeah, he is. He recorded all their shows because however he toured, you know, people would book him in those days for a long time.
Yeah.
But they did that album, Morris Hotel, and then did this tour. They did Boston, Philly, Pittsburgh, Detroit. They recorded them all, and these albums on record on Rhino.
Yeah.
You know, so I have the album that I was at. I can buy the CD. I have it at home. You know,
That's awesome.
Pittsburgh, PA, Sigler Arena. You know, and I have it. And it's a great show. It's not a greatest hits show. You know, it's like he's like jamming. You know, he's fucking grooving and everything. It's really cool. I really enjoy listening to it. You know, but it's like the other thing is like later I went to Penn State, and I was in theater, and in theater you have to take other electives. You know. So I took this one that everybody takes for cinema, you know?
Yeah.
And the guy that took this thing, it's this big auditorium. They take about 400 or 500 people to take this class about the history of cinema. Everybody goes to the Emporium and, you know, everybody sees, you know, movie. Every week you go see a different movie and then they talk to us. And the teacher was this guy, Christian Savanovich, you know? Whatever it is, right? And this guy went to UCLA film department with Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
And Jim Morrison was there before he was in the Doors, right? He was a amateur filmmaker, right? And a poet too, right? And all of his films that he made, he used one of Jim Morrison's poets as the title of his films. Yeah. And they were friends, right? So he talked about him all the time in class, you know? And we thought it was pretty cool. But now, there's a document coming out now about Jim Morrison's films. So it's coming out right now. Yeah. You can see it, Google that shit. But he was my teacher, and he talked about it all the time, about the films together. And then Jim Morrison says, you know what? I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to take my poems, make rock stars and makes themselves make it. And he did.
Yeah.
So I remember talking about that.
You could do that in those days.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Just decide to go be a rock star.
Just put it out there.
And he did.
Everybody got signed.
Well, speaking of rock stars, you famously brought Jimi Hendrix to town.
Well,
Tell me about that.
I did, but it was late. It was earlier in his career, and he
That's
was,
cooler. That's a cooler thing. Right?
people didn't know who he was at the time. He wasn't, matter of fact, he didn't know who he was. He was, and I happened to cross him because he played for a short time with Little Richard's band. Matter of fact, Jimmy played with a lot of R&B acts, the Isley Brothers.
Really? I didn't know that.
He played with Curtis Knight. He played with Wilson Pickett. He played with all kind of people. There's pictures of him, and he was known. Well, I put it this way: after Richard kicked him out of his band for being too pretty, because he was not a headliner. He was shy and stood in the back of the band, and all he did was play rhythm. So you didn't know he was there. But a few years later, about 2 years later, I was in the club one afternoon, and there were two band rooms, a star room and a band room, and the band was all in there kind of fooling around, and what's his name? The guy we were just talking.
Jimi Hendrix?
No, not Jimmy.
Little Richard?
Little Richard was watching this little TV that he had in there, and he said, all of a sudden, and I happened to be walking down the hall in between the two rooms, and all of a sudden he says, "Band, come here quick!" And used to jump in when they were told. They all jump up and they go into his room, and I poke my head in the door, and I said, and he's got the little TV, and he's looking at it, and he starts pointing at it, and he says, "Look, there's Maurice, there's Maurice." The band starts going, what? And they look a little closer, and they see this guy with his playing left-handed upside-down guitar, thing around his head. And he said, "Yeah, it's Maurice James," and that's what Little Richard.
Maurice James.
That's what Jimmy called himself when he was in Richard.
Yeah,
Maurice James.
And they all were just marveling, because here's this guy that had been in their band for a little bit and had to get fired. Now he's a big star.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's wild.
Really,
I bet. That's awesome. Maurice James. I'm gonna remember that.
So when you booked him, where did he play?
I didn't really book him on anything
you just picked him up at the airport?
I became friends with him. Yeah, I just went out to I was sitting in the office one day, and a girl I was dating called me up and said, "Hey, I'm in San Antonio. We're getting ready to take off." She was a stewardess on Braniff, and she says, "Jimi Hendrix on the plane. Why don't you come out and say hello?" So I did, and that's when that picture was taken out there. But that was the Concerts West didn't send anybody out there. I just kind of helped them get their baggage and everything. It was funny. And he came down the steps and, a big grin on his face. I said, "Hey, Jimmy," he says, "Hey, man, where am I?" He didn't know, he wasn't sure what city he'd wound up in. But he was really had a great sense of humor. He was a really funny guy.
That's great.
Yeah.
This next beer that I got right here is one of our new ones called Daily Special. It's
What's the difference? Look, it looks like
It's a little darker.
Clamato juice.
Yeah, this one's all clam.
No clam juice in it?
No. This is what is it, Jeff?
Raspberry Goza, today's special.
Raspberry
Raspberry
Goza.
fruit in it,
Goza.
huh?
A Goza is like a coriander. It's like a sour beer with coriander and salt.
Perfect. I know exactly.
And then
what
you add
that
raspberry.
tastes
It's a perfect summer beer.
It'll be and also excellent for bouncing out of a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Good.
For when you go Kolsch Bloody Mary, today's
Yeah.
special. That's a good little lineup.
Dessert beer.
Not really. It doesn't end up sweet. It has that like acidity that fresh fruit has, but not really like not as sweet as it looks. That's for
What was
sure.
that noise?
That was good, man.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Spicy too.
Yeah.
I like
spicy
I like
stuff.
that you didn't stay, veer away from the spice. A lot of places is just tomato juice and vodka. It's like, okay,
No.
I could get this anywhere.
But like
That's
that
awesome.
like Sichuan tongue tingle.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I'm
Not like
curious
a
about
throat burn,
something
but,
too.
Yeah.
Now, I can't really remember the first time I ever came down to this area, but there wasn't a whole lot going on music-wise or anything. And I'm just trying to think, what was your first experience down here? First time you ever came down?
Well, I think Dada,
That was later. That was way late.
for Deep Ellum.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones that was evident.
Well, I mean, I moved here in 1980,
Oh yeah.
and I worked at the Marriott, and I think I read the Observer and stuff like that. But I did see a couple things I read about the New Bohemians. First time I saw the New Bohemians, I said Dada. I heard that music, and it reminded me of the Dead and Neil Young. Those things. The guitar of Kenny,
Right.
his guitar,
Still that
and
way.
the jam of it. I said, the Grateful Dead and Neil Young and that music. I like this music. I don't care. It had nothing to do with the girl singing.
Yeah.
It was the music of that band. I really enjoyed that, And also, the Clearview
Yeah.
was down the street where that school is now.
Yeah.
That's the original Clearview was there, and I saw the Neville Brothers there. The Neville Brothers
I
there.
heard about that, but I never saw them.
I was there.
You know who I saw?
The Neville Brothers, they were on the cement floor. They had kegs of beer. It was a fraternity party, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a Corona in my hand. Aaron Neville's this close.
It was in a tub.
It's that close.
Yeah.
I love a Neville Brothers. I said
What
Neville
year do
Brothers.
what year do you think that was?
85,
Oh,
86.
Well, it had to be way before that.
You ready? 83?
There we
Neville
go.
Brothers
That's it.
started
I was
in
looking for a good story
77.
before I was born.
Well, no, but I'm saying the Deep Ellum,
Yeah.
like 85.
But back in that, I went to that club too. It was one of the first music things I'd ever seen down
Yeah.
here, and they had Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five there, and that was talk about a show. That was a show, man. Opened a lot
I'm
of
trying to
people's
think.
eyes.
I went to
old
Mardi Gras. I went to Mardi Gras in New Orleans
Yeah.
because I moved here in 1980.
Yeah.
And my roommate at Penn State moved to New Orleans at 81. So therefore, he invited me to Mardi Gras. I went 82, 83, and 84.
Yeah.
And I saw the Neville Brothers many times in New Orleans, And Charlie's, you ever been to Charlie's? A club called Charlie's in New Orleans?
Who?
Charlie's?
The club?
There's a club called
Oh,
Charlie's.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, the whole family would be there. Charlene and everybody, the whole family. And the Chiefs, Big Chiefs would be there and everybody. And they'd be all there on the
Jolly,
stage.
Chief Jolly.
I
Uncle
know.
Jolly.
It'd be so much fun. So whenever they come to Dallas, I would see them. They'd be the 80, and the Quadrangles and the patio out there. I see that. I see them here. And Tango. When Tango opened, Camp Basie the first weekend, and 2 weeks later, the Neville Brothers, 2 nights in a row, Friday and Saturday. I went both nights. Neville Brothers. I was drinking champagne. A lot of fun.
They had a lot of Dallas before that, 'cause
You guys should have seen Tango. You ever seen Tango?
no.
That was before your time. Tango was
yes,
a
it was.
play place. It was a bank. They took this old bank
Yeah.
where Tango Cabango is now.
Yeah.
It was an old bank. It was vacant. So they bought it, took it over.
The frogs
Beautiful.
got back on top.
Huh?
They put the frogs back on top.
I know. That's where it started. Yeah.
3 of them.
They had the main thing was a live music venue with a beautiful stage and bars, and then the balconies above, so you could look over it.
Yeah.
And then on the second floor with the balconies, go this door. There's another bar back there with the TVs, like 30 TVs there, the video bar and room.
Yeah.
With tables, stuff like at a bar there, okay? Or you go back at that door, go back downstairs with a dance room, where it's like you know.
That was to the side. Oh yeah, downstairs.
Yeah, it was back downstairs again. It was a disc club.
Yeah.
For disco techo.
Yeah.
Room, you know what I mean? With DJ and everything else. Then going out of that room, you're in the lobby. There was the vault with the vault, bank vault.
Yeah.
That's a arcade with pinball and stuff like
that's
that.
sweet.
Oh, it was a great place. How long did it last? 2 years? 3 years?
I don't really know. I'd probably over 2 years, but you know,
Ain't that long lasting up.
with the Nevilles, you know, that had an interesting start too.
Stevie Ray Vaughan was there.
'Cause I used to book the Meters.
The Meters, I love the Meters.
And this is
That
in the-
lead
this is-
singer
this is
used
in the-
the
this is
jean
in-
shorts and hardly anything else. You know? The lotions?
The lead singer was a guy named
Who? Ray?
No, it was the youngest Neville.
Was it?
That's right.
Well, they were funny
And
as
they
shit.
played.
I saw them at Nick's.
I booked them into a place called Faces over on Cedar Springs, and
I used to see them
they,
at Nick's Uptown all the time.
not the Meters. That was the
No, no.
Nevilles that came
No,
back.
I thought you thought the lotions.
That was Cyril Neville that was the lead singer of the Meters.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
they,
art.
They broke up. They started fighting each other in the dressing room. You know, had big fights, and they broke up. And about 2 months later, Art Neville called me and he said, "Listen, we're sorry about all the trouble we caused you and everything, but y'all did us a real solid there, and I want you to know that we all got the family back together, and we want to rejoin each other. We're going to put a band called the Neville Brothers together, but we don't want to do it in New Orleans. We want it to be a surprise. And can you find us a place to rehearse in Dallas, because we want to hang out there. You know, you all did us a solid with the booking and everything." And I said, "You bet." I got them an apartment over right off of Cedar Springs, and and I got them a job working every night at the old Bijou
I can't believe
nightclub.
that.
The Bijou.
What year was that?
77, June 77.
77?
Big article in the paper about it. And they
Like
were
a residence?
They were
Like they
one of
were
the best
playing there?
bands ever.
Huh?
The Neville
Yeah,
Brothers.
they were
Yeah.
every
They were
night.
so
Yeah.
fucking
For a
good.
month.
That's awesome.
And they
I love
they
the-
just killed people. It was so good. They
I
had
love
all
their
the-
guitarist,
they had all
Leo.
all the feathers, you know, the feathered outfits.
The chiefs?
Yeah.
The masking as an Indian tribe. And they did a real show, and they had Charmaine, their sister, with them.
Yeah,
and
Charmaine.
a lot of different things that happened.
So you asked Mike a second ago what his first Deep Ellum memory was. What's your first Deep Ellum memory?
Well, it was one of those. It was seeing Grandmaster over there. I can't remember too much music down here before then. There weren't, anywhere near the clubs and everything that are here now. There were a lot of real straight businesses down here, and that was one of the first ones. And then, gradually Clearview moved. The scene kind of expanded a little bit, or actually quite a bit. And every now and then I'd book something down here, but most of what we did was too expensive for clubs here that didn't have a very large capacity. They just couldn't afford it.
It's not a huge venue place except for Bomb Factory.
You know-
Two Lives.
Wow, that's a
We got
great
together.
Yeah.
We got together, become very close, and we friends. We got together in the business because I used to do the shows at the Sons,
A lot of them.
and it became very popular
first
with
big
the
tradition.
rockabilly
Sons of
and
Hermann Hall.
Western swing and things like that. Is music that I loved, and it's kind of roots music, and it didn't play in the clubs in Deep Ellum very much. And I loved the Sons. I became friends with the people there. I used to go to the Kerrville Festival with the people from the Sons, the members there, and he became a member of the Sons, and I became closer to him.
A son.
I knew him from Nick's Uptown and Tango and AO from the shows he did and stuff like that. But then when I knew him at the Sons, the first thing he did, he says, "You should have Ronnie Dawson," and so he helped me, gave me the contact with Ronnie Dawson. He said, "You should have played there." And Ronnie didn't know me, but he knew Angus. And so he helped me book him for the first time. And after that, me and Ronnie became really good friends because we lived close to each other. I was at M Street, he was right there by behind Jason's Deli, you know.
Yeah.
So after that, I used to book him
Leeward Isles.
directly. Yeah, I used to
Leeward
book
Isles
him
apartment
directly
building.
on the phone. And then I wanted to book Doug Song, but he's really funny to work with, you know. He's very. But Angus says I'll work that out, you know, and he did. And he booked me Doug Song. But man, Sir Doug is dear to my heart. I love that guy so much.
The greatest band.
And nobody knows how important Doug Song is to Texas music and American music, you know. He has every kind of genre. He can do it all.
Yeah.
Country, blues, rock, psychedelic, Tex-Mex. He's a
Psychedelic
master.
Tex-Mex.
He's a master of it all.
A lot of Tex-Mex.
But, you know, these are the two guys.
Yeah.
And
They were
we've been
terrific.
the same ever since, you know.
I
We're
think of what
close.
else
Yeah.
we had.
I would do it up.
Well, it was the rocking place. That place was packed.
Delbert,
Mike
Delbert
did shows
McClinton.
in there.
You know, we had him once.
That was the deal.
So what was your favorite show you've seen in Deep Ellum? Talked about the first one. What about the favorite one?
Hard to say, because they were very different one from the other, but there was a lot of quality around here all the time.
Yeah.
I think, trying to remember what.
Doug
Well, I
Song.
mean, it had to be Doug Song. I mean, really.
That night, the
anything
poster
running-
over there at the Gypsy Tea Room, it was
Rip
a
that
lot
off
of
the
fun.
wall. Rip that off the wall and show it. That was outstanding.
He's
gonna
gonna
do
do
it.
it.
That's right. He's supposed to. He's the only one who can do it. There you go. No, it's not even nailed in. What are you crazy?
With Roy Head.
That's
Special
right.
guest Roy Head. That's a good one.
Signatures on there.
That was
Your
terrific.
camera there, you see that? That was a special day.
I asked what your favorite show is. He goes and grabs the poster
Yeah,
that's
there's
signed.
a whole
This
bunch
one.
of them over there.
This was
That's right,
this was my favorite.
That's why I like this place.
That's exactly.
Really,
If
right.
you've never been to AllGood Cafe, it's a great place to
You
check
just
out.
can't,
They
you
got all
can't
kinds
imagine
of
how
things.
excited people were to see these.
That was
two.
a
They
very
just whipped
special
that
night there. You
audience-
should have been there.
Whip that audience up like nobody's business. It was great. Really a lot of fun.
So I never went to the old bomb factory. I have formed some new memories at the new bomb factory.
There weren't many shows at the old bomb factory.
Yeah.
That was, boy, talk about trash.
I don't know anything about
really
it.
trashy place. It was an old war, you know, I mean, they used to actually make bombs in there for the
Oh, that's where.
Where's that other
that's
beer?
where Bomb factory is.
yeah.
legit.
Raspberry.
Oh, yeah. There we go. It was a
I saw.
quite a place I saw. I can't remember, but it was.
Give me a small one.
Production value.
Give that
was
to
real-
him.
really
I just
great
wanted
in
about
there.
that much.
2 years ago, I saw LCD Sound System, and then the next day, I saw one of my favorite bands that's a little bit more unique, Ween, play
No.
Where?
at Bomb Factory 2 years ago here.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
The new one,
Sure.
and I went and saw LCD Sound System in that little like 4,000, 5,000 person room.
stuff.
You see like
Yeah.
acidity, but not too sweet. You know, like
Yeah. Very nice. I could drink that.
That's not me.
it was two. It was.
I
two-
like that one.
2 nights. In
I'll
a
take that
row.
one home.
You got it, man. I'll drink that. 2 nights in a row, great shows. 2 very different shows. One very heavy electronic. One kind of good old fashioned rock and roll with a big old heavy shake of weird. You know Ween at all? Ween, the band. Ween?
Yeah, I've seen them before a couple of
So they
times.
played Halloween at Bomb
Halloween.
Factory. And as you'd
Oh,
imagine,
Ween, yeah.
Halloween's an
I know.
important- is an
Ween's
important
awesome, yeah.
night. I saw them at Halloween at Bomb Factory
Yeah.
2 years ago. LCD Sound System the day before on the 30th, and then Ween on actual Halloween. It was like, I couldn't ask for a better 48 hours.
I saw opening night over there. Who was the guy that they had a big R&B star that they made a big deal about, and had this magnificent band and all these singers and everything. I can't recall his name right now, but he put on an amazing show too.
You know,
I don't know. We get crushed sometimes. They'll have like Robert Plant with a sold out show and not tell anybody, and then on a Tuesday at Braindead we've got 4 servers on. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's Tuesday night, and then all of a sudden there's a line out the door, the patio's
what?
full. It's like, Bomb Factory, what? Did what? It's a Tuesday. What do you
you probably know.
The overflow.
You'll probably know the guy I'm talking about, but in this business, the music business, you know, one of my secret weapons, you know, you might call it that, but my music, what I'm known of, you know, maybe I started the Sons and everything, you know, but I booked Wilco, you know, and Sunvolt, and Lucinda, and Steve Earle, and then because of them, I got the old 97s. The same agent from those guys because of that in the old days, you know what I mean? And it's a guy named Frank Riley.
Frank Riley.
Yeah.
No, Frank.
And he's you know, he's smaller. He's smaller. He's not CAA or William Morris, you know, man. He's a hippie guy with long hair and a beard, you know what I mean?
He's got some big acts, though.
I know. Patty Smith, you know? He's awesome. Ween's his act. High five. I just wanted to say that. But no, I mean, Frank Riley, he loves Mike Snider. Mike Snider likes Frank Riley. I wouldn't be here without Frank Riley.
Yeah.
That guy, that agent. Robert Plant, he books him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's very special.
Led Zeppelin was
he
with
picks
the
the
original
records.
Texas Pop Festival, right?
Yep.
I mean, I booked he came to me. He said, Mike, he says, I have this act that's gonna blow up and they're gonna be really popular, and I want to play at the Sons of Hermann. I don't want to play at Trees or Clearview or at Rock Club. I want to play at your place because they're gonna blow up and they're gonna be really cool. And they're called Wilco. Will you help me with that? I go, no problem.
Yeah.
And we've been like that ever since.
Yeah, you got it, bud.
And then we got Sunvolt, and then we got Whiskey Town and Ryan, and I got, you know what I mean?
You ever go out to Marfa?
Where?
Marfa, Texas?
No,
West
I
Texas?
need to.
I saw Wilco at Trans-Pecos
Yeah,
Music
oh, yeah,
Festival
yeah.
out in Marfa.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's like 180 people at that festival.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Big festival.
You've been out to
Wilco knows
Marfa?
they're doing.
I've been out there, but I'm not for music.
Trans-Pecos, you should check it out. My first time I went to go see Trans-Pecos, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday night music festival. And the first time I went out there, it was Heartless Bastards, Old 97s, and Deer Tick were the three closers, the 3 nights that we were out there. And I'm talking 300 people.
But they want it to be that way.
Oh, I know, and that's what makes it so fun. You're standing there with the
Coda-rated.
band, and it's great. It's limited because Marfa's 8 hours from nowhere, you know.
I know this.
And it makes it a fun place to go see some music because people have.
You were mentioning Zeppelin a minute ago.
I was.
And I forgot
I'd
one
love to
thing
get
about
right back
them
there.
that might be fun to recall.
Please.
That is that when we booked them for the Pop Festival in '69, we did it through their manager, Peter Grant, who was in London, and made a direct deal with them. About 2 weeks, maybe more than that, probably about a month before the show. We went out to, they already had a date booked at the Coliseum at Fair Park, which is the rodeo arena with a dirt floor and everything, and no air conditioning. And
Coliseum?
So a few right behind the Cotton Bowl there.
I've been
We
there.
went out, about 4 of us from our festival group went out to see them and to remind them to mention the festival when we got on. So we get out there and they had this little bitty stage that somebody had just built out of 2x4s that they were going to be playing on. I swear to God, it wasn't wider than this table. I mean, it was up on stilts more or less.
Oh man.
And first thing we did was go for the road manager, you know, who was responsible for them. We introduced ourselves. He said, yeah, I know who you are. He's this cocky little guy, British guy. And we said, well, if you do know that, then you'll know that we have a date coming up here, and you might know that it would be good for you and for the band too if you had them mention the Texas International Pop Festival where they're playing in a few weeks from now. And he says, he says, that's a problem, mate. He says, because The lads think they're on vacation, Dad. I said, I haven't told them yet.
Oh,
He said,
no.
Well, you better get moving, Bud. There's going to be bloodshed.
I bet. I'm serious.
Anything else happens. He says, oh, yeah, man, I'll take care of it. Well, here comes the show. And we're sitting out in the audience, and there's a lot of people there. I mean, it would turn out. And the band comes on, and they start wailing, and it sounds great. I mean, except for it's a coliseum, it's terrible. But after about the third or fourth number, Robert Plant comes up to the microphone. He says, "Say, has anyone out here ever heard of something called the Texas International Pop Festival?" And people go, yeah, in the audience. And he says, I got to tell you, the band and I were driving into town from the airport today, and we're here on the radio, and we see on the telephone poles, placards and stuff, and we look in the paper and there's ads and so on for us to be playing on this thing. He says, we never heard of it. It's a rip-off. He's telling the audience, go and get your money back. Don't buy tickets to this thing. It's a show. It's a hoax.
Get out.
Oh,
Man, our jaws hit the floor. We could just see all the money flying out the window.
Holy shit, dude.
And we get
Get
we get up looking for this guy, this road manager.
Yeah.
And it turns out at one end of the building, it has this big overhead door.
Yeah.
And he had pulled a limousine in and closed the door. And this limousine that they had blackout windows on, which were legal then, but they're not now. You couldn't see inside from outside.
Yeah.
But we knew he was in there with this girl. And so we get up, and the show's supposed to last about an hour or more. And we start knocking on the window, no answer. We start pounding on the window and on the car, no answer. So we know he's in there, and we feel somebody moving around. So we got up and started pushing the car back and forth like this, and it bang, and ran up like that. Finally, it got so bad that we were so angry. We got it up on its almost to where it tipped completely over. And it came down, wham! The door opened. This little guy flew out, and he says, "What the hell is wrong? What's the matter?" And he said, "You're going to find out if you don't go up and tell those guys to make that announcement. They just dissed us and said they didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
What'd you tell him?" He says, "Oh, I forgot completely about it." I said, "Well, take care of it now, buddy." And
So he hadn't said anything about it.
No, he hadn't told them a thing.
They were just, oh my God, dude.
He was just dissing us,
That's crazy.
So he scrambles up onto the stage while they're in the middle of the song and waits until Jimmy takes his long lead, and Robert comes back to the back. And you can see this little guy getting up to Robert into his ear and going like this, and Robert... And he says, he grabs the guy by the shirt, he starts shaking him. He says, and the guy's just helpless, He knows that he's in for it. So he goes up to the mic after the show, after his song is over, and he says, "Say, that Texas International Pop Festival we were talking about a little earlier?" And everybody goes, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, our Weasley-ass little road manager didn't tell us that we were playing on it, and so we didn't know any better. By all means, go to this festival.
Yeah, please.
Get all your friends to go. Buy as many tickets as you can." So on and so forth. And I imagine they just beat the hell out of him when he got done the show.
That kind of thing happens now. You have an audience with, you got 1,000 people in the audience that cancel their tickets on Ticketmaster immediately when that happens,
Well, yeah,
that
it was like that. That's what we were trying to avoid, was
Yeah.
a tsunami of rejection,
Yeah, totally. Well, that's
But they
great.
came out and did a fantastic job at the festival. They were really great. And if you like them, if you like that, you can find the whole set on the internet. It's there.
Oh, of the pop festival?
Well, of several acts that played there.
Yeah.
The Zeppelin's on there?
Yeah, the whole set.
Wow,
Yeah,
I
cool.
didn't know that.
Oh, there's
Send it to me.
several acts. involved.
Send me an email that link of that.
I'll send it to you. I'll
Okay.
look it up and I'll look at
Just
it.
Okay.
go on to YouTube TV. Or YouTube, it's on there.
That's
when
awesome.
when I was still in Pittsburgh, like I said, I graduated. I saw the Doors that May, and I graduated a week later,
Was it
a month
Pittsburgh?
later, in
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, yeah, in June '70, right? But I wasn't able to go to Woodstock the year
was.
before in '69.
Yeah.
You know, I actually got tickets, but then my parents let me go.
What,
That's
how old
another
were you?
story. I was in 16, 17, you know?
Just a kid.
In 69, 70, yeah. So anyhow, so then the next year, I'm a senior in high school. I saw the Doors in May. Then I graduated.
Thank you.
So then I graduated.
Did I hit my limit?
Y'all paying attention?
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
So then I graduated in June 70, right? And immediately I left. Me and a buddy each had a double bag, and we're gonna go to Colorado with our thumbs from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
But on our way, we stopped in Cincinnati for the Pop Festival.
Yeah.
It's a one-day festival in Cincinnati. They're gonna have this in Crosley Field, where the Cincinnati Reds used
Yeah.
to play, but they built a new festival in Riverport, print over here, you know,
Yeah.
new one there. So let them have a new festival here at Riverport to burn it down, you know, after that. So here it was, one day festival, and it started off with Bob Seger,
Yeah.
and then
Seger.
Grand Funk.
Seeger.
Seger.
He wasn't one of the Siegel
Bob
brothers.
Seger.
Yeah.
They called it the Bob Seger system or something like that.
Yes, Seeger system.
Yeah, and then Grand Funk, and then Mountain. 10 years after, and then Iggy Pop. He's a teenager, and the
What year is
Stooges.
this?
70.
Yeah.
And you can see those on the internet.
Yeah.
When Iggy Pop had smeared peanut butter all over it and threw it in the crowd, and they jumped on the stage in the crowd with peanut butter. That is popular on
Hell
the
yeah,
internet.
dude.
Everybody's
Hell
seen
yeah.
it before. And I
You were there?
I was there, just out of high school. Yeah. Okay. Then after Iggy Pop, it was Alice Cooper. And it was Alice Cooper before I'm 18, you know? It
Yeah.
was like, it was still on Frank Zappa's label.
Yeah.
Before Warner's, okay? And he did this thing with the chickers and the feathers and the
Yeah.
strobe lights, you know? It's funny as shit. And then after that, it was Mott the Hooper. And then the Traffic. Traffic was the end. It was awesome.
Mott's coming
We were
up
tripping
soon.
acid like balls.
Yes. And on that note, that is a good one to close us out. We have hit our 1 hour Growlersations limit, and thank you, Mike.
Cheers.
Thank you, Ango.
Cheers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Anton. Thank
Texas
you, Central
International
Track.
Pop
And
Festival. Don't be
especially,
shy, be there.
yeah, Texas International Pop Festival. Check it out. Tickets on Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Thank you mostly to all of you
ZZ
guys
Top
that
in
are watching,
Chicago.
giving us a reason to be here and doing this. So thank you.
Good to see you guys. Don't see enough, you know?
well,
Jeff, good to see you.
I need to make.
I run into you the weirdest places, you know?
pleasure, sir.
Always nice. Come back with the wife and
You
kids.
can close it out with me.
We'll do
okay.
it, yeah.
All right, there you go. Interception.
I was just helping you.
No, you're good.
You got
You
around
can finish.
there.
You can finish yours.
I know.
Finish your Bloody Mary. Everybody else drank your Bloody Marys. Not too bad.
Pink beer, I swan.
That was a good beer. I like that one.
And we're out.